It's not a GIF. It's a GIF.
It's a GIF.
No, it's a GIF. Does it look like you can wash stuff with it? With that one, I went to GIF Maker.
Yeah, but is it 2 pictures?
It's 3 pictures. That one.
Yeah.
That one's just 3 pictures that just cycle through.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether they can hear. I think they can hear us, but I don't know what it looks like. Because we're so professional. No, I thought it'd be funny if they could hear us, but they couldn't see us.
No.
Just like the Rogan Experience, this is where we advertise. Today's show is brought to you by no one. Because why would anyone advertise with us? There it is. I was waiting for the event to kick in. Shut up, Simon! Jesus!
What did he say?
Simon said he can hear us jack-offs, not professional. Fine, Simon. I've got an idea, Simon, for our intro, and I was thinking maybe you could be in it, but now, maybe not. I assume we've now gone to the camera. I don't know where my little window thingy is. Where's my little window thingy? There it is. And we're not... There you go. Now you can get into it too. We're not professional at all. Wait, no, that was to me. I don't want it to me. I want it to a little bit to you. There. How's that? You just want to stand behind the ball?
Perfect.
Okay, fine. You stay behind the ball. Now because I didn't realise it was time. My water bottle or drink cup is still out here. Talk. You're not being.
No, I'm doing sight gags.
Oh, okay.
So week 7, we're on.
What?
Week 7, is it?
I wasn't going to do that.
What?
I wasn't going to bend it towards us.
Oh, well, we need to not block my face, the pretty face, because I had an idea not so much an idea, but a revelation during the week.
Yeah.
You are fantastic at all this podcasty stuff, all the technical stuff, and I'm trying to think, what do I bring to this show? Right? And it's clearly I'm the good looks.
Oh, okay, you're the visuals.
I'm the visuals. So, our loyal viewers, thank you.
I'll stay out here.
In the peripherals.
Yeah. I'll be the one that doesn't get seen very much. Again, quoting the Rogan Experience, I'll be Red Band off camera, and you can be Joe mainly on camera. So when we do get a guest and stuff, you can be the ones that do most of the interviewing.
Sounds good.
The reason I'm good at all, like with the technology stuff, is because I don't have a life. I sit at home and just muck around on the computer all the time to learn these things and fiddle around. The amount of dead podcasts I've got that didn't quite make it. Although I did do almost 30 episodes of my Bobby Freakout podcast.
The Bobby Freakout.
Of which you can still buy the Quarter Down collection at cdbaby.com/Bobby Freakout, I think. If anyone cares.
Sure people care after they've seen how good we are on this podcast.
The funny thing is the only person to buy a copy of that is actually Jamie, my missus.
There you go.
Yeah. So there you go. And it's funny because it's on her iPod, and every now and again I see it there, and I'm like, oh, it's kind of cute that someone still has it. So yeah.
So what's the news for us this week in terms of the podcast? Do we have any big news to tell our loyal
in terms
listener?
of the podcast, the most for me personally, the most interesting. Why isn't that coming up? They're just making it difficult for me. Come on, work for me.
We really need to do something about the lighting here because it just looks like we're shadowy figures.
I want to know how
Batman.
I can't bring that up. Oh wait, I have to minimize, and then that, and then that. See, again, this is something that could have been done off the thing. The best thing for me is that I'm very pleased with that. Not only the logo, but also the GIF, whatever.
GIF.
of making that. I'm very pleased with that. That's my biggest thing this week. Happened
Yeah.
whilst I'm back at school now, and so that came about at school, which was quite pleasing. Of course, it also that's not the right one, and I'd have to. Oh, don't worry about it. Our I didn't mean to do that either.
I take back that you're the technical one.
Yeah, I'm not the technical one anymore. Technically our website, as it were, is looking quite professional. Although I'm having a few problems in the very back end to make a nice, clean link to it. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't necessarily push people to go to there just yet. There's nothing on there that anyone needs to see that they can't see anywhere else. We are on YouTube.
We are on YouTube.
Full 1 hour and a half of episode 1. And
Special bonus is your old haircut.
Yes, which we saw just before and were quite amused by. Episode 4 is also up there. I need to get round to putting all the other episodes up there. That'll probably happen whilst I'm at school on Tuesday because I get to use their Wi-Fi and their internet instead of my own. Not that I need to save internet here. We've got quite a large thing that we don't use.
I'm just looking at my hair. I've got rocking hair this week.
Yeah, you happy with that?
I didn't actually wash my hair this morning because I thought I looked good when I got out of the bed this morning.
Yep. I had a shower about an hour or two ago, washed my hair, and my hair's feeling really fluffy at the moment, which I'm pleased by. Maddie Hogan's already in the chat room, and he's making references to the fact that our Swords Crossing logo is a bit homoerotic.
Well, he would know.
Yes, there you go. Zing! You were talking just a second ago about lights, and
Yes.
we had an idea, or I had an idea last week for lights. I'm going to be back very quickly so that we can try and execute said idea.
I like this.
Because again, we're so professional.
We are so professional that I noticed halfway through the first 7 minutes that I'm looking rather dark, and if I'm going to be the good looks of the podcast, I need to be well lit at all times. Yeah, what else has been happening? No, he's going outside. So you're stuck with me for a bit. I'm still continuing to move. I know you were probably talking a few weeks ago that I'd moved into my new place. I picked up a whole bunch more new stuff yesterday, and my room is just ridiculously full of crap again. Oh, that's right. This is going to be great. I remember we were talking about something last week. Just tell me when you're about to turn it on, because I'll close the eyes.
It's not as bright as my other Super 8 light.
Oh, I'm getting messages now.
Is that better?
Put lower. It's a bit better. Yeah.
I think that's the brightest we can make it.
That's really bright.
That's actually a lot better. It doesn't necessarily look good, but it is a lot better.
It's been asked if I could try that.
Try what?
Deep throat the mic.
I like the fact that you've got, like, they're in the chat room and they're chatting, but they know that if they send a message there, they're going to get it straight to you. That's where all the abuse for me is happening, isn't it?
No. They're just saying they haven't got a link. Dale, I'm not on Facebook. Facebook me the link. Have you got the link? He must have the link because he's sending us a message.
Wait, who are you talking about?
Simon.
He's already on.
He's already on.
That's all right though. We will.
Oh, you know what I just realised?
What?
With this new light, you can see the scratch on my forehead.
Well, I assumed we were going to talk about your Harry Potter status.
We can talk about that.
For sure. How did it happen?
On Wednesday, I was rolling with Dylan, and he accidentally scratched me on the head. However, I'm starting to think he did it on purpose because he's jealous of my good looks. And he says he's coming for you next, Simon.
Oh, he's coming for Simon next.
Yep.
You didn't post the link there. Now we're trying to work out how I can.
See, leave it up to the technical one.
You You've turned what could be a longish story into 5 seconds worth of I was rolling and he scratched me.
It was a dark. It was a dark morning. The mats were warm.
The lighting was romantic.
The lighting was very romantic. We were rolling, and I don't know what position we were in. I'm going to say reverse cowgirl, but I don't think it was. And he accidentally scratched me on the head. I felt the feeling of being scratched on the head. I knew that it was going to be a fairly sizable scratch on the head. We stopped. Dylan obviously felt the skin underneath his fingernail from my head and said, "Oh shit, I think I've just scratched you." I said, "All right, is it bleeding?" He said, "No, it's not bleeding." I said, "Cool, let's keep going then." We rolled for another, say, 30 seconds before there was blood everywhere, and he said, actually it is bleeding. So we stopped.
Because it looked pretty good on the first...
I look great.
The first, what would you call it? The first night? The first day?
The first day of the period.
When you...
First blood.
Yeah, when you had first blood.
Yep. Have we got any photos of it?
Did you not bring photos?
Oh, they're on Facebook.
And I just realised I wanted to try and take some photos for better promo type stuff.
Can't now.
Why not? You don't want to include that?
No, probably not.
It should now be posted on Facebook.
I'm sure he's already on there.
To the D&G page. Yeah, I don't know why. If he's commenting on the thingy, it means he's already there.
Fair enough.
Why is it not bookmarked, people?
Yeah, I know. You should know every week.
6 p.m. Sundays.
We're regular, like that first piss in the morning.
I'm still very impressed with our regularity.
I know.
The fact that it was an arbitrary time. There it is, and it's been seen by one person so far.
Who's that one person so far?
It doesn't tell me that kind of info, unfortunately. I think we've got to get 100 likes, and then then we can get detailed.
Look at that. My phone tells us that our podcast is live.
There you go. And the unfortunate thing is... Oh, well, no, it's not unfortunate because it's only gone to one person. This is something... Because the technical side does interest me. It's been... the reach is by one person organic, 0 viral. Now, my assumption by that... Every time...
Okay.
I still don't get it. Viral is when it gets taken from... Like, when one of our fans posts it to... one of their friends. And that, as yet, hasn't happened, but that's okay.
Well, it will happen because, our loyal fans love us. And now that we're on YouTube, I think it's a big thing for it. Wow.
What?
Actually, I think I just accidentally pressed it. Look, there we are. Hello. I just saw myself.
Okay, so Simon says but.
Yep.
As in double T.
Yep. But thank you, Simon.
Then he also says D&G is not a searchable term on live stream. Oh, that's a bit harsh.
What?
Then I had to look up MLB some shit.
Okay. That's funny.
Is it? That's
no.
funny,
No. I got a comment saying Rictus Semperis. Is that in there?
No.
Okay.
The other comment is, how is Hermione? I don't think that's how you spell Hermione. I don't know if that's how you spell it.
Did he write Hymerine?
Hymerine.
Yeah.
I guess
it sounds like
Hyman.
Hey.
He's so mature in person.
He is. Haha. Thank you. Read the comments on that chat thing. I think I need to bring my own laptop so that I can get these things rather than looking at my phone every 5 minutes. Anyway, 14 minutes in and we're still talking rubbish.
I'm looking forward, and I said to you the other day that episode 10, my goal is to have a theme song.
Yep.
And a webcam.
Yes.
So that episode 10 is of quality. So I'm looking forward to being able to have my laptop on my lap and be able to do things through the laptop instead of constantly pulling things side to side.
Fair enough.
Does this light make any difference?
I think it does.
I think it does. I don't know if it's good or not. It looks blurry. That's a promo photo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just gonna. I don't know. I like the I'm not a pale person, but I look very pale when I get up close with that light. So yeah. Anyway.
Oh, what happened there?
Where?
Look. Oh, the screen just.
That's just the screensaver.
Right.
Anyway, I don't want to rate that out. Okay.
Oh,
So instead of just answering childish,
stop sending me messages, you two.
Yeah.
Now they're just going to keep sending them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because you don't have enough time throughout the rest of the week.
That's right.
So yeah. I don't know. What's Yeah.
Oh, look, there's serious discussions I wanted to bring up today when they're not
Excellent.
serious. But
I say we go 50-50 once production costs are paid for.
Fantastic.
Okay, good.
Fantastic. I was going to say I've known for a very long time that I don't follow the news of the world.
Okay.
I get 90% of the news from what's on my Facebook feed that
Yep.
I will check at.
You know, you can follow the news via your Facebook feed.
Oh wow, shit! Stop sending me messages. I'm not going to look at these. I'm going to finish what I'm saying and then I'll look at my phone.
We're going to beat the light this way off.
Oh, that was fun. I don't watch the news at all. So current affair topics, I don't.
The battery on the light.
The battery's dead. So look, that was good while it lasted. It's going to be good when the light goes out on the video.
Yep. It's going to look like that one.
It is. I'm going to watch out the corner of my eye just to see what. There we go. Look at that. That's a good looking face.
That is classy.
I'll
put it there.
I don't follow what's actually happening in the world.
Yep.
Case in point, this recent stuff with the plane being shot down over the Ukraine.
Now, there is a number of people think that the plane was shot down by pro-Russian
Yeah.
separatists or militia or something like that. Now, that delves into a topic that you, before we ever started this, said that we're not going to talk about.
What?
Politics.
Well,
Are we going to talk Russia-Ukraine? Or...
no. I was going to talk America, but it is still.
But is it politics?
Well, politics.
I've got no problem talking politics if you want.
Politics in terms of. Oh, God, I'm going to have to open up the semi-ban on politics to have this conversation.
I've got no problem talking politics.
all right.
I just know that you said when we first started, I don't want to talk about politics.
I don't want to talk about politics in terms of Tony Abbott is the worst prime minister in the world.
Okay.
Okay.
How many other prime ministers are there that could be classed as worse?
I don't know. Gary Busey. He's a premier or something.
Is he?
No. Well, I was talking about something before we got onto the thing.
Yeah, Russia-Ukraine aeroplane.
Yes.
Malaysia.
To show how little I follow the news, when someone mentioned to me, look, it might have even been Matt in the morning had mentioned, did you hear about the plane that got shot down over the Ukraine? Shut down. It was shat on by a bloody vulture. Foot rot flaps reference. I thought they were actually talking about that. Oh, Esther's on. Beautiful.
And she's losing her wood over there because we're talking politics.
Sorry, Esther.
We'll be very quick.
I thought they were actually talking about that MH Shyamalan. No, the Malaysian Airlines flight that went missing about 3 months ago.
So you thought that the current
what had happened? I thought
a plane that had been shot down was them talking again about the plane that went missing in the Pacific.
I thought that the information had come out that plane had got shot down, which made me really confused.
Yeah, but
because
I can understand
what would
how
that,
you think that.
How would a missile sent from the Ukraine hit a flight that was somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean or whatever it was? Anyway, so when I finally checked my sources, I found that it was a completely different plane. It just happened to be the same airline.
Yeah. The interesting thing that I saw about that thing, because I'm not that much into that kind of stuff, but I do like to grab some bits of information every now and again. The interesting thing was that now, if you look at flight patterns of aeroplanes in Europe, they are completely avoiding the Ukraine. there is absolutely no flights going over or around or near the Ukraine at the moment, which is interesting because if you believe the possibility that the militia did it, that's because there was a quote from somebody that said, "We told you not to fly on our airspace," then what they wanted has come to fruition. So what they did worked in getting what they wanted. Obviously, it's terrible. Go to Vice.com and check out an article or a piece that they've done on it, because they got some access there that is absolutely horrific. And it's very, very interesting if you're into that kind of thing. Absolutely terrible. Really good info on and a perspective from the people who were there, who were just like, we're just trying to go about our everyday life, and all of a sudden, and I quote literally, bodies are falling from the sky. So check that out if you're interested in seeing how fucked up the world is. Now, that incident of the plane being shot down made me think, and trust me, we're getting off politics. I'm pushing us away from politics. That made me think of the fact that that is very close to World War III, because the United States are saying, you will not get away with this. We will go in and punish whoever did it. And then Russia says, no, you can't harm them. We're going to back them, and bang, World War III hits off. That made me think about a quote from you when talking about Pacific Rim, that you would like the world to end via monster. Made me think of World War III kicks off, and all of a sudden, apocalypse, couple of nukes get thrown around, and we've got a living off hunting and creating your own fire, zombie apocalypse, Walking Dead scenario, which is how I want the world to end.
Fair enough.
So yeah.
I was completely following what you said until you started talking about the zombie apocalypse stuff. But my belief is, and this is the last thing I will say that would be politically motivated in any way. I believe. Are we gonna get kicked off YouTube for this statement that I'm about to make?
What the hell was that?
It was me dookying in my pants.
All of a sudden, you turned into like an angry chihuahua. You were like,
I think that the Americans had something to do with shooting down that plane. That's all I'm gonna say.
Like how?
Well, like the way that they've started every other war that we've had in the last 30 years.
Okay. If you think...
Well, because think of it this way. Iraq, Afghanistan, that war's been going on for way too long.
Okay, but you're
let me
thinking
finish.
It's Bay of Pigs. That's what you're thinking.
The Bay of Pigs, the same way the Vietnam War was started, the same way the War on Terror was started, because you can't fucking start a war on a fucking acronym or whatever terror is.
The war on drugs.
War on drugs. It can't be won.
They created the drugs that caused the problems.
That's exactly right. The Afghanistan Iraq thing, that's run its course. The Americans are coming out and saying now that it's time to pull out. And coincidentally, as they're pulling out of there, there's a possible war that's going to happen in Ukraine and Russia, where it's a bit iffy at the moment. The Russians are doing this, the Ukrainians are doing that.
So, folks, you heard it here first on D&G7. Dale has the conspiracy theory that some possibly CIA operatives were in the Ukraine with a ground-to-air missile. The plane flew over, of which they probably made it fly over via remote control, or the pilots were CIA operatives, Manchurian candidates, if you will. And they shot it down deliberately. They then released the YouTube video that has the guy talking, saying, we told you not to fly over our airspace. And now they're going to go in heavy-handed, even though I don't believe the US had very many citizens on the plane. I do believe that... I know Australia apparently had the
28?
third highest or something. And a lot of the other people on the plane were not actually US citizens. So that's your theory. Heard it here first.
If World War III starts over this... And then in 20 years' time, when all the information comes out and you and I are old and grey or dead or...
20 years' time?
Yeah. I'll be dead by then.
You reckon? You're only going to make it to 50?
50, yeah. 50? 53, okay. Yeah. No. Well, the rate I'm going...
We'll be at episode 2000?
Episode 2000, yep. When that happens, You heard it here first. The Americans started this war, just like they started every other war, for money.
What money, though?
The money that they've made off being at war. I listened to a fantastic podcast that I don't know which it was, but it was one of the brilliant ones.
Can I pause you for a second?
Yep.
Guys, we will get to your questions. I've seen the questions. We will get to them. Dale needs to talk.
I need to vent. I need to rant.
Why have you moved the GIF over? GIF.
I haven't.
Over.
I haven't done. Oh,
did
I? Oh, there you go.
It's not showing to anyone. But
No,
still,
but
you
still,
moved it over.
it's showing to us.
Oh, we need it here.
Yeah.
We need it projected or something here. Just that. Fuck.
I looked at posters today.
Do it.
Yeah.
I want. Oh my god. Anyway, I also think that'd look really good on a hat.
Yeah.
Just the swords on the hat.
Crossing the swords.
We are really getting to. Don't cross the streams.
No.
We're getting really close. Like I imagine. Just during the week, I was imagining what our live show in front of an actual audience at a pub on stage would be like. Because I like to daydream whilst I'm
You do
bored.
like to daydream.
I daydream a lot, and I can tell already that you're sick of me sending you Facebook messages with my latest.
I
idea.
like this. This is fantastic.
No, I know that you sent me when I first sent you that. You were very positive, and I felt awesome because I was having a really shit day that day when I made that. And your response cheered me up, and I was like, "Awesome!" He likes the logo.
No.
That's
I
great.
love this logo
because I really liked the logo when I created it and went, "That's it. That's the one. Awesome." But then when I sent you the GIF, you replied with, "That's cool, man." I read it, and I'm not saying this.
I
is
was
what
at
you meant.
work.
Yeah. I read it as, "Dude, I'm busy."
Yeah.
Fuck off. Which I completely understand. You don't know how many times I've resisted going, "Oh, dude, here's this idea I've got. It's awesome." So anyway.
Yeah. American conspiracy war. It's going to happen. Should we move on to the questions?
Learn how to start a fire, make a bug out bag now.
That's right. I just quickly, while we're on the Walking Dead stuff,
We weren't on Walking Dead at all.
You said something about zombie apocalypse.
I mentioned it once.
Then we're on the topic.
Okay.
All the zombies in that show,
Yeah.
they're dead.
Yeah.
Their muscles are atrophied and they're all. Ugh. I have never watched more than 3 episodes of the show, so I'm assuming by season 6 or whatever up through they're all. Ugh. How do they still have the muscular ability to bite someone's fucking hand off? It was raised on a show I was watching this morning.
How do any zombies have that ability?
They don't.
No, they don't.
Walking Dead, flawed.
No. Zombies in general, flawed.
Yes,
It's not you can't just say The Walking Dead. It's zombies in general because, it just doesn't work. Anyway, I hope that show gets better. I really do. Because that last season really...
The Walking Dead.
Yeah, that last season lost me and it lost a lot of people. And in the last few episodes, they went back to a few storylines from the comics.
Yep.
They swapped the characters around, but they went back to the storylines from the comics and they got better. And it was like, okay, cool, this has got a chance. But yeah, I need to get back to reading the comics as well because I'm a bit behind on that one. Anyway, 8 minutes ago, Esther had a serious question. Mm-hmm. Should a guy wear keys on a carabiner hanging off his pants, wait for it, during a date? I want to specify the during a date. And by the way you're laughing and stuff, I get the feeling that this is a reference to something. I get the feeling that yet again, I'm out of a loop. Should I pause it so that we can hear
Matt
the
and
loop?
Simon are always giving me shit about the fact that I have my keys on a carabiner.
Yep.
They're always referencing that I'm going rock climbing later.
Oh, okay.
If I don't have my keys attached to my pants, I forget that I have keys and I will leave them somewhere. However,
Simon says only if there's a matching bum bag.
I've taken my keys off. So I have house keys that don't even belong to me. I think they're my parents and my bike lock key. I'm no longer going to have this on the back of my pants anymore.
I think I'm going to make sure that I don't make clear my elaborate wallet and keys system when I'm around these guys.
They're in my pocket
from now on, because my system's way further than a carabiner. But anyway,
I have a question. I have a question to our loyal listeners. Then, is it any more unacceptable to have a wallet chain? Answer that, people.
Are you referring to me?
No, I was unpacking my stuff.
And you found your wallet chain?
I found 2 wallet chains.
My
You can answer this as well if you have the necessary qualifications.
Qualifications?
Yes.
Okay. Give me a second, then I'll go get my... Because I'm not wearing my jeans and stuff at the moment.
He's wearing his sports pants. So yes, I've officially taken the understanding that the rock climbing gear is no good. Hey, you've got one as well.
Okay.
So that's elaborate.
I actually have you can barely see it in the thing, but a leather clip thing that then has paracord that I've...
What's paracord?
Parachute cord.
Oh, yeah.
That I braided, if you want to call it that. Yeah. Braided myself, which then comes round onto a U-ring, which goes onto my...
U-ring?
Which goes onto my wallet that is now about 15 years old that I bought when I was a young kid. That was my first chain wallet.
Yeah.
Which then has another piece of paracord, which I bought as a paracord bracelet, which I now use as that, which goes onto my carabiner, which goes onto my keys.
Okay.
The reason why you have paracord on you is so that in the zombie apocalypse, you can undo all this, and then you've got cord with which to use to do stuff. So, for instance, if somebody breaks their leg or something, I can use the cord to strap the splint to it.
Or you can do the logical thing in a zombie apocalypse and strangle yourself with the cord.
Just kill. Yeah. Oh yeah, you can make a noose if you wanted to, if you know the right knots. But yeah, and that's all attached. I've actually, because of this, I caught it on something one time and actually ripped the pocket of my other pants.
Strength.
Because that's also strong. But yeah.
So what was the response? I believe that there's a response that's come in.
What Simon said, but that wallet chains are okay if you like eating dicks. The D&G shows firmly believes that everyone's sexual preference is that no one's but their own, and if you like eating dicks, that's more than okay. Now, I've got.
Do you know the Joe Rogan theory on
he wears a wallet chain.
Well, that too, but I was talking about why people hate gay people.
I noticed it. Yeah, I do know that one. I noticed that it wasn't actually a chain the other day. Yeah. But anyway, it's because you is that the same as Mormonism?
Your secret
his theory on Mormonism.
I just know his theory on why people hate gay people is because they're secretly worried that dick is delicious.
Yeah. I've known a number of girls who thought dick was delicious, so maybe it is delicious.
I don't know.
Very quickly, Simon wanted to know 12 minutes ago if we like dumplings. My answer is yes.
Do you like a dumpling? Yeah.
And then I was about to say that Esther did a very racist impression on here, but you've done it for me, so that's fine. Very quickly, it's worse, Dagsy. Wallet chains are okay if you like eating dicks. Ha. What Simon said. That's cannibalism, Gavin. What? What's cannibalism? Eating dicks? Oh. Well, I guess if you're chopping them up and frying them and then eating them.
Bit of garlic.
No, I'm not going to go there. So, very quickly, did you know that we actually have an international follower now who is actually watching live?
Bullshit.
Not bullshitted at all. Brian, I am going to mispronounce your name. I apologise. Vignoli?
Oh.
Would you pronounce that Vignoli?
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 Yeah.
Something like that. This is funny. Esther has a bit of Asian in her. I didn't know that Matt was part Asian.
He is. He is.
He is?
Yeah,
I'm not going to...
He is. His mother is Chinese.
Oh, well, there you go.
There you go. Hi, Mrs. Hogan.
Anyway, I met Brian...
Do you know something else about Matt? Sorry, quickly. He's not allowed to donate blood because he was born in England in the 80s. If you're born in England in the 80s, you're not allowed to donate blood.
I thought he was from New Zealand.
He is, but he was born in England.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was born in Sandringham. Australia.
I was born in Moorabbin.
Moorabbin?
Yes. There you go.
Go southeast suburbs.
Yep.
Brian got it right the first time. Vignoli. So it is the hard G.
Sorry, Brian.
Brian, I met via the internet, via Tumblr or something like that. I actually thought he was Brian Redband when I first interacted with him on the internet. And I remember asking him about his podcast, and he was like, "Oh no, we're not doing it yet." And I was confused because I thought, "Wait a second, I just watched an episode the other day." But he has a podcast as well, I think.
Good on you.
Which I've never actually listened to, and I feel bad about it because I remember seeing it one time and going, "Bugger, I've got to get onto that." And then he hasn't been posting about it lately, so I think he may have stopped. But he'll let us know in the chat room in just a second.
So he was talking about the zombies.
Yeah, he said that they've got perfect teeth, but I don't think that's the case in the in what's it called? The Walking Dead. I think they've done a pretty good job of making sure their teeth don't look good. But do they have all their teeth? Because they shouldn't have all their teeth if they're dead and they're just decaying and falling out. So yeah. Matt apparently has AIDS, no homo.
Don't you just love that theory that you can say whatever you want as long as you put no homo on the end?
Yeah. Anyway, I was listening.
Look,
it's going.
We need to get these three on.
Well, didn't I say last week that we should for episode 10 the guest should be they come here and they're here live with us, which unfortunately means, of course, that no one will actually be watching. They'll all actually be here.
No, we'll make sure we get everyone to watch.
But if they come here, that's fine because I think what we need to focus on, and we're probably not talking about stuff that we should necessarily talk about on air as we're recording, but we need to focus on the YouTube and the iTunes and stuff, not necessarily the actual live show. Because how many of your podcasts that you listen to that go live do you actually listen to live?
Oh, zero.
Yeah,
absolutely none.
I occasionally watch a Rogan on YouTube if I've got nothing to do for 3 hours. I never listen to the MMA Hour live. I never listen to Kevin Pollak live. All the shows that I like to listen to that do it in the live form, I never listen to them live. Admittedly, they're all American, so they're all happening whilst I'm asleep. But it's because the joy of podcasts, as I'm sure you and the people watching, all three of them, will agree.
And Brian,
I take that back. It actually says 7 here.
Cool.
Maybe there's 7 people watching. One of which is me. Oh no, I've got it open there. So 5. We've got 5. Brian says it's 4 a.m. where he is and it's hard to watch live. What? It's hard to watch us live? As in we're not good enough for you? God damn. It's the accents, isn't it? We sound cobber and, hey, g'day, mate, and all that. Anyway. It is hard to watch them live because of the time difference. For instance, he's watching it at 4 a.m. his time. We're watching those other shows at 4 a.m. our time. Yeah. It is very hard to watch live. So I don't think live's the one we need to focus on.
No. It's the...
So whether they turn up and they don't watch, or whether they bring their laptops themselves and watch, or their phones or whatever they watch on.
Yep.
Anyway, how did we even get onto that?
I don't know. But top effort, Brian, getting up at 4 a.m. to watch us.
I think he's still up. That's my...
Oh, okay.
I do not know Brian. Barely know him. But I get the feeling he's a late nighter. Just going to put that out there. He'll let us know whether that's the truth or not. It doesn't matter. I'm an early morning person.
Yeah.
Oh. It doesn't matter what kind of person you are when you go to sleep. So, yeah. What else you got? Anything? Yep.
I went to IKEA today.
Brian is still up. And you survived. How did you manage that?
Well, it was actually a really, really bad thing.
Yeah, it's always a bad thing going to IKEA.
I took my housemate Chris along, who, as we were walking up the escalator to go to IKEA, drops a bombshell on me that she's never actually been to IKEA before.
Oh,
and if you've ever taken someone to IKEA...
You ruined her.
Well, pretty much.
I hate IKEA. I don't even want to talk about it. I just don't like IKEA.
Yeah, so I had to explain IKEA to her, and she was like a child at a candy shop in terms of she looked at every single display. And then when I told her the shortcuts, we got really excited, so we took shortcuts. But
you got excited.
Look, I was really good. I went in there and I said, I'm buying myself coat hangers, and that's it. And I only bought coat hangers.
Why did you go to IKEA for coat hangers? Have some self-respect.
I have a lot of IKEA coat hangers, and I'm a creature of like things. What do we got?
It has, Matt. It has ruined her. She's probably going to quit all her study and ideas. She's going to quit her 2 jobs, and she's going to head back to Canada now. Esther wants to know if you treated her to meatballs. Is that another in-joke?
No. They serve meatballs. I got.
Why would you eat any food from IKEA?
I had a fucking schnitzel today. It was beautiful.
From IKEA?
Yeah. Oh. I went to IKEA Wednesday night, I believe, and I got baked chicken wings, and then I followed it up the next day and got baked chicken wings again for lunch with Matt. It was so good. Why would you not get food from IKEA?
Why would you go to IKEA at all?
For the food?
It is terrible.
Why?
I really dislike IKEA. It philosophically, emotionally.
I'm going to find some IKEA products in this house. Well, every house has them.
I dare I say it, you're looking at one. I think that chair might be from IKEA.
Oh.
But that's because I got that chair from my folks because they didn't want it anymore and we needed some chairs to go with our table.
That's not an IKEA chair. No.
In that case, then no, I don't think there's anything IKEA in here. Mainly because I don't like IKEA.
I'm interested in this. I've never met anyone that doesn't like IKEA.
I genuinely have a problem with IKEA, and I'll tell you why. I don't like mass-produced, commercialized things in general. I much prefer handcrafted, personable stuff. I don't find that any of the IKEA stuff is actually that strong or sturdy. It breaks very quickly. It's all fucking chipboard. It's just, it's no good. I want to spend a lot of money on a bookcase from hopefully a guy, and this is where I go into hipster land, and I'm okay with this aspect of my hipster personality. I want to buy let's just use a bookcase as an example. I want to buy a bookcase made by a guy in Melbourne, hopefully from either recycled wood or quality wood that's got a bit of an eco mind behind it, that will then last me multiple years and hopefully to the point of the rest of my life. Yeah. I don't want to buy something because I've had IKEA bookshelves before and they break very quickly and easily. They don't last and they look like shit.
All right, fair enough.
So I really me and Jamie went to IKEA one time and actually there is IKEA stuff in this house. I just remembered. But that wasn't my choice. Oh. So, we went there one time and we got halfway through and I actually started having a bit of a breakdown and we had to leave very quickly.
Far out.
I fucking hate that place.
Well, I will tell you why I love that place.
If we ever have like a little studio, a D&G studio where people can come and watch the show, it will not have IKEA stuff in it. I just want you to know.
Come on.
And if it does, we will then sacrificially burn it.
Okay.
Every episode. We'll put all the ashes together and then start a fire on it.
You know why I love IKEA? Because I love making the furniture. If I could get a job where all I did all day was make IKEA furniture, I would be in heaven.
Matt has... I'm going to ignore...
Yeah, that's okay. I like screwing things. And I like making furniture. Hey-o!
Matt has said you're using an Apple computer, Gav, handcrafted, question mark. That is absolutely true, Matt. I'm not going to question that at all. I think I've got a Samsung TV over there. This blue snowball wasn't handcrafted. Absolutely. There's a certain... When it comes to your slightly more mass-produced stuff that you can't really avoid... I have my standards that I like, and after listening to the Steve Jobs audio book biography, I am much more of an Apple geek than I used to be. But you can't avoid mass-produced stuff to certain degrees because mass-produced has made us who we are. Both my bikes are mass-produced. You can't avoid that. When it comes down to your mixed martial arts, your gloves, your gis, your belts, everything is going to be mass-produced. Even your short-run special edition gis are going to be are mass produced. The comics that I read are mass produced. So are books that I read. You can't avoid it. But where I have the opportunity to, I choose not to.
And furniture is your choice.
Well, no, but I don't want to get too preachy and stuff about the way I think we should all live. Because it's wanky, I know. But if you've got the opportunity, you should buy quality over quantity.
Yes.
If you've got the opportunity to spend $30 on a meal, you should choose to spend $30 on a quality meal.
Yes.
Rather than $5 at Macca's. It's much easier when you're on a tight budget, and trust me, as someone who earns $8.80 an hour at the moment, I know what it's like to be on a tight budget. You can't always go to the farmer's market and buy the organic food. You have to go to the supermarket sometimes. Doesn't mean I want to. It means that you have to sometimes. And so sometimes you have to go to IKEA. Sometimes you have to go buy some shit furniture that'll last you 2 years, because in the time that you're building to have a greater income and more quality, you have to just sacrifice for a bit. I've got a pair of work boots at the moment that I would much prefer not to have bought for multiple reasons, but I had to at the time. I just prefer when I can to go quality over quantity, and I don't like the way people go, "Oh my god, it's so cheap." That to me isn't a benefit especially with furniture. I like the idea of as I said before, I have this daydream of having a nice, massive leather couch that I have for 30 years, and it gets worn in and you feel comfortable sitting in it because you've worn it in and stuff. Not a shitty couch that I bought from IKEA that folds out to a double bed. But it's personal preference, and somehow this has gotten all... Tell a joke. Have you got a dad joke there? Quick, tell a joke. This got awkward.
Dad joke.
What the fuck's a dinger?
Condom.
Oh, a dinger. Okay, I read that as a dinger, as in like a dingo. Well, let's get personal. I'm not really a condom fan.
Really?
Yeah.
And
don't knock a recycled condom, Matt.
Recycled condoms are quite good.
Upcycle your condoms. Yep. Get it out, wash it.
Yep. Hang it on the line.
Yep. Then fill it with water, check for holes.
Yep.
And then put it back in the drawer and go for it.
Put it back. You don't roll it back up?
Well, you can if you want.
Yeah.
But if you just spit into it before you put it on, it'll slide back on. So...
Oh, look, in terms of not being a fan of condom, I'm more a fan of condoms than I am of STDs, specifically the because that's the sort of women I like to roll with.
If you had to choose, if you had STD on one side, condom on the other, and you had to pick one,
yep,
you probably would go with the condom.
Of course,
you probably would.
However, the whole setup to this joke that we've ruined by talking in the middle is look, there are some very nasty STDs out there, but there's only one that you really need to worry about.
And that is...
pregnancy. Yep.
And you know the only way to 100% absolutely guarantee no pregnancy?
Yes.
Go.
No.
Why?
Because it's mean and rude.
What do you... Oh, you were going to say something. Oh, yeah. I was just going to say anal.
That's what I was going to say. Well, either that or...
Well, great minds think alike.
Yep.
Oh, facial. Some people like facials.
Yep.
Backs, legs, chest, feet. Some people like it on the feet.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Will this get us kicked off YouTube if we talk about coming on feet?
No, probably not.
Okay.
Well, until you said coming on feet, then we hadn't really said coming on feet. I'm a big fan, I'm sure like a lot of the people watching now, of ladies in heels. Ladies in heels is great, but I don't understand the appeal of having sex with the heels or the feet, or coming onto the heels and feet. Don't understand that.
No.
Each to their own.
No, look. There's certain fetishes that I don't understand, but look, people are...
Like what?
Certain German fetishes.
Hey. No, wait. Why did I say... I said it like I was Jamaican then.
Yeah, man. I was actually having this conversation with Matt and Simon today.
Were you?
Yeah, not about pooping on people, but fetishes that people don't understand.
Was this whilst you guys were having
Actually,
sex? Or?
yeah, it was. It was, this was the fetish that you had posted your amazing Facebook rant about that got your mum offside.
Oh, rosebudding.
Rosebud.
I didn't post a rant.
No, I know. You posted an article.
I posted a link to an article because I find sexuality in general very fascinating, and that is one of the things that I don't understand at all. I don't know how a legitimate deformity could then be classed as something appealing and arousing. I've also posted recently saying people should check out the book Perv. I'm halfway through listening to it whilst at work at the moment, and it's fascinating to hear about these stories. For instance, one of them was, and this is absolutely horrific, and it makes your heart go out, that back in the day, women being sexual and effectively just wanting to have sex was thought of as a sickness and an illness.
Yeah.
And this young girl I can't remember the age, but she was young, that in my head, whilst listening to this, I pictured a very young girl. Her mother caught her touching herself, took her to the doctor. The doctor did an examination. Now, this has got to be at least in the 2 centuries ago. This has got to be like 19th century, possibly early 20th. The doctor did an examination, and when he started examining her genital area, she became aroused and started breathing heavily, opened her legs naturally, spread a small amount, and she became aroused and stuff. And the doctor said, oh, well, she's obviously got a problem. I can't remember what the actual terminology was, but the only cure was circumcision.
Oh, God.
So something that is now regarded as genital mutilation, and should be regarded as genital mutilation, was the way to cure this girl. And I think whilst I was working, I literally made the noise of, oh, because I can't even imagine the how much that would then screw the rest of her life up. And so this book is absolutely fascinating. I highly recommend it. And that was getting off topic No. Well, it was getting off topic from the fact that the reason why I brought that up was because in it, this gentleman from a young age had been attracted to amputees. And he eventually married an amputee, and every time he got close to her, for want of a better word, stump on her leg, would start to caress it and be romantic or sexual with it, and she would be embarrassed by it and swat him away and say, get off me, don't do that. She then found his collection of amputee porn, embarrassed him so much and got rid of it that he then became very closed, whilst he then became sexually aroused by the idea of cutting his own penis off, to the point where he actually did it. And then when the paramedics or whoever turned up were able to keep it on ice and then reattach it, he then became a man who could not get an erection, and his whole life was completely ruined. Now, I can, to a certain degree, and I'm telling you that degree is incredibly small, understand an attraction to an amputee. I don't know why I can understand that, but it makes more sense to me than someone who's attracted to rosebudding. I don't want to see innards when I'm having sex. Yeah. I don't understand the people that are into fisting that then get all excited by the gaping holes that their hand just left.
How did we get here in this conversation?
You said something about coming on shoes or something.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
But you know those where they're just like, oh, check it out, I just got my fist out of you. Look at the hole. So that's not, I don't understand that at all. Listen, I think I posted saying, listen to this book or read this book if you want to feel incredibly normal, because I've never felt so normal in my sex life than when listening to this book.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, okay, all the things I'm attracted to are basic and obvious.
Yep.
I like women, and I like things associated with women, i.e. underwear and fancy dresses and perfume that smells nice and that kind of stuff. The standards. I wonder if the screen's just gone quiet. We're still on, of course.
Are we?
Everything's gone quiet.
Oh, what happened?
I've got to put my code in. UFC Fight Night 46 is what Brian would like us to give our thoughts on.
Was that the one that was last night?
Dublin, I do believe.
I haven't watched any of it.
Oh. Well, that works really well, doesn't it?
Yep.
So you haven't watched any of it, and I've seen a quick...
Oh, look, I've seen, the highlights and stuff like that.
Which highlights? Because I've only seen the one highlight of McGregor's... Spoilers! McGregor's win.
Yes. I've just seen him knocking the guy down.
Yeah.
Actually, I saw... forgive me, I can't remember his name, but the light heavyweight guy, his name's like Iliak something. Or,
Yep.
His TKO as well, and he tried to do a backflip, but it failed. But he recovered pretty well.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah. But look, like we were talking about before, this Conor McGregor guy is can be a bit of a douche.
When we're in the kitchen beforehand preparing drinks, and by drinks we mean getting a cup.
Yep.
I happen to say that Conor McGregor shits me to tears. I'm sure his fighting skills seem to be up there. He
hasn't lost a fight, has he?
I don't think so.
No.
I think he's doing very well. But then he hasn't had that many, and he hasn't had any top-level guys just yet.
Yeah.
I think Barao was like his first possible challenge, really. Because the guy
he wasn't fought Barao.
Who did he fight?
Dillashaw.
No.
Brandao. Diego Brandao.
Brandao, that's it. Sorry. I think that was like his first big fight, the big-ish fight or name fight. The guy that he was going to fight on this card who pulled out was a nobody as well.
Okay.
So to me, Conor McGregor so far is, and I am yet to really study his style or watch his fights too detailed. At the moment, he's all talk and fancy suits. He's he's Chael Sonnen effectively. And neck tattoos. And chest tattoos. He's got a big eagle
chest,
or something.
Not neck, chest.
He's going up the neck a little bit, isn't he? He's not quite to job stopper yet, but he's up there. I just don't think so far he's anything more than mostly talk. I mean, the thing that always annoyed me about Chael was that he never really beat anyone of amazing stature. He always just talked his way into fights against big names.
He beat some guys that are up there. He beat Bisping. He beats Brian Stan.
But he shouldn't be up there.
He beat Anderson Silva for four and a half rounds.
Don't get me wrong. I still remember, like, UFC 117 is the UFC, is my version of, like, the Kennedy assassination when it comes to UFC events. I remember being on the couch at my mum's place by myself, sitting forward on the couch, bouncing up and down, going, what the hell? Oh my God, what the hell? And then when that triangle got sunk in, just going, holy shit, holy shit. Then when there was the controversy with the tap, going, what the hell? And just freaking out and
He tapped.
It was freaking awesome. Oh, he tapped, and he admitted to tapping.
Yeah.
It was because what happened was he tapped, and then he went unconscious.
Yeah.
And then he came back quickly.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. But he shits me because he just is so much talk. He's not as good as his talk, and people put him up there as though he's one of the greats and that he should be in the same realm as Jones and Silva and all these other people, when he shouldn't be. Because Jones destroyed him. Anderson destroyed him the second time.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the rib injury, he probably would have destroyed him the first time. And he destroyed him after 4.5 rounds with a rib injury.
Yeah.
Chael spent 4.5 rounds and couldn't finish Anderson. Anderson spent half a round and finished him. So he just he just annoys me.
In saying that though, look, I've never done jiu-jitsu where I've had a rib injury or anything like that, but I've had quite a few roles where I'm getting my absolute ass handed to me, and then I'll just get a triangle out of nowhere and finish it.
And that's fantastic. And to me, that means that you've done a better job because you were able to pull out that actual submission win.
But so did Anderson Silva.
Yeah, for sure. And that's why Anderson's better than Chael, and Chael's all talk. Brian, I'm now going to dub our UFC correspondent, because he's actually giving us some interesting facts. So thank you very much, Brian. Apparently, McGregor has lost 2 by submission.
Oh, that's... Yeah.
But not in the UFC.
Yeah, no, that's
so in the
right.
UFC, he's all good.
Yeah.
But lost 2 in outside by submission. And on the broadcast, apparently they were pushing Dustin Poirier.
Oh, Dustin Poirier.
Poirier. That sounds French. Poirier.
No, he's from Louisiana, I think.
Oh, well, it could be a little bit French.
Dustin Poirier.
There you go.
Yeah.
Next from McGregor.
They made a documentary about him. They've also made a documentary about Conor McGregor. Interesting fact for the people playing at home.
I found on MMAfighting.com, Ariel Helwani posted or did a long form interview with McGregor, which I do like it when Helwani does that. And it actually seemed pretty good. I only got about halfway through today before I had to turn it off. Mm-hmm. But I did actually quite enjoy it. It sounded like he's not as much of a dick as he comes across in all the talk, which is what I think is exactly the same for Chael.
Yeah.
I think the talk pushes him up to being an absolute wanker, but if you get rid of the talk, he's not so bad a guy. He is, because, I mean, I'm not stupid. I understand that the talk is there to try and put the confidence in your own head, to psych yourself up to go and kick ass.
Yep.
I know that Chael had to talk himself up in order to fight Anderson. You saw in that...
John Jones.
And to fight John Jones. But you saw Brian suggesting that McGregor is 10th in the rank, which is great. But that's 10th. There's 9 other guys that, according to the UFC, are ranked higher.
Yep.
The rankings, as we know, don't mean much. You look at that, the second face-off between Anderson and Chael for their rematch. Anderson was like, right, you're getting your ass kicked. I'm right in your face. Chael couldn't look at him.
No.
And Chael snapped. There was a point where he stopped doing all the talk.
Yeah.
And he just stopped. And I think it was like Hickson Gracie or somebody who called him and said, you've got to stop that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But he stopped, and you could see it because he's standing there and he's not even looking at Anderson. And then he sees somebody in the audience and he points to him like this.
Yeah, I remember that.
And you look in his face and he's not ready. His face says, I am not ready for this fight because I'm about to get my ass handed to me. You could just see it in his face. And that's what all the showdowns and the square downs and the beefs and all that kind of stuff, and the hoedowns
and the hootenannies
and the getting down and the get down to get up and get up to get down, that kind of stuff is all there, as we know, to psych yourself up because you're about to go and try and fight someone. It's the same. I remember our most recent jiu-jitsu comp. I got my ass handed to me because my head wasn't in the game. I just wasn't ready. And I just got absolutely steamrolled. And I look back on it and go, that was because I wasn't paying attention. I just wasn't there ready to go. And when it's a big UFC event, you've got to talk yourself up. When you're someone like Conor McGregor in a game, watch that Ariel Helwani interview, because he sounds like he is just a hard-working guy not from the streets necessarily, but he's from the working class. He is going to the gym every day to kick ass and to try and better himself. If he was Australian, we'd call him a battler.
Oh, he's a battler.
He's a top Aussie and a top bloke. He's a little battler. But
I don't know why we went British there.
To be sure. That talking and that trying to build your confidence and stuff sometimes goes a little bit too far. That's what I think. Anyway.
Fair enough.
That's my psychoanalysis of Conor McGregor.
What do you got for us?
Brian is saying that Clay Guida fights on the 26th, and if he wins, Brian's thinking McGregor Guida would be the next way to go.
That'd be a fantastic fight with Clay Guida doing this for 4 rounds or whatever.
Just moving his head. I want to shave that guy's head, seriously. That hair, far out, that's annoying, that hair.
Yeah.
Where's Clay Guida been? I know he fought not that long ago, but I can't remember hearing about him having anything awesome
Might
happening.
have
Brian,
an
quickly
injury.
look up Clay Guida's record for us because
Do
we
you-
can't do it ourselves apparently.
Did you ever see the fight where the ref was asking Clay Guida how he was doing and he just burped in the ref's face? Or,
Oh wow, no,
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
But it wasn't like a little, it was like a fucking...
Fine, thanks. Clay Guida had a couple of losses, I think, and he sort of somewhat disappeared. He doesn't seem to be quite as prominent and quite as at the top as he was, which is a shame because a lot of people like his,
I like Clay Guida.
his run around, never stop, Duracell bunny kind of thing. His record, according to Brian, is 31-14.
Clay Guida.
Yeah, 2-3 in the last 5.
2 and 3.
Brian, I know this time every single Sunday, man, you're going to have to tune in because you're very useful. Oh, we lost the screen again. Not that there's anything on there that we need.
But we just got to make sure it's still
We're
on.
watching ourselves. So he's had a win-loss, win-loss, win.
Win-loss, win-loss, win.
So hopefully he can get to a back-to-back win.
Yeah.
And that'll set him up for some good fights. Okay, now we've got the screen back to see that we're looking pretty. I'm gonna have to charge that light for next week because it's ridiculous. Unless we go like this. Oh no, that makes it worse. Anyway, okay. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I think Matt and Simon have tuned out.
Yeah, Matt and Simon don't seem to be in the chat room anymore, and your phone hasn't gone off.
No.
It does say 7 people are watching though. Maybe we should get back to the toilet humour. We got a little like serious.
Oh, I really thought that the topic of rose. Oh,
hey,
it said lost signal. And it's back.
it's back.
Yeah, I thought the topic of rosebudding would keep Simon and Matt involved, but I guess not.
No. Oh well.
It's
Yeah,
alright.
I don't understand because rosebudding's effectively
we're back.
hemorrhoids. It's effectively just hemorrhoids,
Yeah.
and that's not like that's terrible. I'm trying to because we're talking about dad jokes. I'm trying to remember a hemorrhoids dad joke. I can't remember it now. The punchline is I've got a cream for that, or I've got some cream for that. But yeah, I can't
Insert
remember.
Michael Scott reference.
That's what she said.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the extent of it. But anyway, okay. So yes.
What else? What else has been happening?
I read. Oh,
The Deep.
talk to them for a second. I should have had this prepared. I knew that this was going to come up, and I
Yeah.
should have had it prepared. But
Are you grabbing The Deep?
yeah,
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, but I forgot. I bought more for you. So The Deep is a comic that is written by a guy named Tom Taylor. He's an Australian bloke who, as we mentioned last week, he's been doing the Injustice Gods Among Us the comic series. And The Deep was one of his early ones that they're in the process of making into a Nickelodeon television show, which I think is absolutely awesome. I really liked the story. What did you think of it?
I have unfortunately only read the first one,
Yes.
so I apologise for only reading one of them so far.
Simon just asked me where he should go for dinner.
Come round here. I've got a shepherd's pie about to be
Yeah,
done.
shepherd's pie.
Shepherd's pie is the standard for Sunday nights now, it seems. So, I've read Here Be Dragons.
Here be dragons.
The first issue of The Deep,
Yes.
and the front cover looks like that. So I loved it.
Yeah.
I did.
Good.
And I loved it for what I assume to be all the same reasons you love it.
Yes.
In that it is a reminder of being a young kid
Yes.
and having an adventure.
And now, do you understand?
Yes, the fish. Yep.
Have faith in the fish.
Absolutely. I thought it was a very easy tie-in.
Yep.
When that reference came back and was relevant. I didn't find the writing to be terribly detailed or that impressive. Mm-hmm. But the combination of the writing and the graphics and the artwork and everything was awesome. I completely understand why they're turning it into a kids show.
Yes.
I would, I was about to say something that would sound really crude. I was about to say, as I have access to a youngster, as I I don't know how to say it. I have a youngster that I see every now and again who I am not desperate but very committed to influencing in a positive way via comics and music and stuff. This is one of the ones that I would be like, right, here's one for you to read. Yeah. I wouldn't want to give him Arkham Asylum or anything.
Happy.
Happy, if anyone remembers Happy. Or even some of my favourite Brian Wood stuff, which is who we're going to get onto next. Because I just remember there's Brian Wood news that I want to talk about. I wouldn't give him any of that stuff. Maybe even some Batman I wouldn't give him. But this I would. This is fantastic. And I think it says in the intro, or the foreword, that it's, even though it's kind of a kid's comic, it's still enjoyable for adults. It's like how Toy Story is enjoyable for adults to go watch just as much as kids. So you can still go back to being a little kid and enjoy The Deep, which I'll show just one more time, the front cover, if anyone is at all interested. You want to search for The Deep, and that's what you'll find.
By Tom Taylor. What did you think of the, what's it called? The epilogues at the start. Prologues at the start. What did you think of the epilogue?
Remind me of what happens in the epilogue.
Well, you just need to see that.
Oh, yeah, the epilogue suggest... Well, of course, the epilogue's that great little bit that's like all... It's pretty much the same as what happens in all the Marvel movies at the moment, where they just have this little bit at the end that says, hey, guess what? Some more cool stuff is coming.
Yep.
It's like how at the end of every episode of... or at the end of every season of standard soap operas and stuff, they give a big cliffhanger, and then you've got to come back next season to see what happens. Which is exactly what you want from a thing or a comic like The Deep. I imagine The Deep to be up there with or in the same vein as the kind of stories that inspired Spielberg and Lucas to make Indiana Jones.
Yes.
Those kind of boy's own, choose your own adventure, what's going to happen, kind of, the swashbuckling kick-ass guy that's doing the right thing and stuff. Whereas, of course, in this one, there's 4 different characters of which you can identify with all 4.
Yes.
I found myself identifying with the dad a little bit.
Yep.
And with obviously the young boy a little bit. I'm sure girls would read it and go, yeah, my little brother's fucking annoying too. Yes. And they'd identify with the young girl. So Esther is still watching. Oh, I just
Thanks,
knocked the mic. Esther's still watching, and she says... to find your ultimate sexual position, take an adjective to describe your first time and combine it with your spirit animal. So whilst I do a little bit of searching, what's your spirit animal?
My first question would be, which one's the adjective?
Adjective's a describing word.
Okay.
So, but what's your spirit animal?
I don't know. What's the spirit animal? How do you find your spirit animal?
I don't know.
Okay.
I was just going to say that you've just got to try and guess what your spirit animal is. Try and make something up.
Awkward turtle.
Awkward turtle. So so that's your ultimate position. Your spirit animal's a turtle, and your first time was awkward.
Awkward turtle.
Cool.
I don't know. Well, I only thought because awkward turtle is that thing. Yes. Look. I will say, and I hope I'm not killing it for you, but I don't think they follow the second issue of The Deep. I don't think they go into that just
into
yet.
The epilogue.
Into that just yet.
No. Well, I got the impression that that little epilogue bit would be for very much the future.
Yes. Yes. So, what would be your spirit animal adjective?
So I was thinking of it just then. My spirit animal, I would like to say, would be a wombat.
Okay.
Because I like wombats.
Okay. Mine is not necessarily a turtle. That was the first thing I thought of.
Well, I'm quite a big fan of wombats. I think they're pretty cool. And I can't think of off the top of my head, the right adjective for my first time. I can't think of the right word that would properly describe it, unfortunately. Because it wasn't awkward.
No.
but it wasn't mind blowing. I mean, whose first time is mind blowing, really?
No,
Yeah, you
yeah,
were.
no. I was the product of really bad Catholic education, and I wasn't a Catholic.
Where did you get? Given that you were born in Moorabbin,
Yes.
I'm assuming you've spent a lot of your time in the southeast suburbs.
Yeah, well, I grew
Where
up
did
in
you-
Carnegie. Like,
in the country.
no, Carnegie's in near Ormond, near Glen Huntly.
Carnegie.
Grange Road. Do you know Grange Road? Do you know Jasper Road?
I know all these places
Yeah.
except for Carnegie. That doesn't sound right to me. Anyway,
Caulfield?
I know Caulfield, yeah.
Next to Caulfield. Carnegie
I
is
know.
right next to Caulfield.
Well, I know the area that you're
Okay.
talking about, but for some reason my brain isn't allowing me to associate that with the name Carnegie.
Carnegie.
Who knows? So which institution gave you your Catholic?
I went to De La Salle.
Ah,
Yeah.
De La Salle.
Yeah. I don't know why my parents sent me to a Catholic school. We're
How
not religious.
They're not at all.
No, we're not religious at all.
It
It was actually fantastic. They sent me to a Catholic school that was really big on sport.
Yep.
And I was neither Catholic or sporting at all. At all. So anyway, that's just adding to the fact that my first time, as a lot of young people's first times, was I had no idea what I was doing, and I only came to this revelation recently when I thought about it, like in the last 5 minutes or whatever. I based a lot of what I thought sex was on what I'd seen in those dirty movies. Completely wrong. I'm quite surprised I don't have love children all over the place based on what I was taught in those schools. Unprofessional, answering your phone on the podcast. So yes,
my education was Anglican at Haileybury, and my mum was the one who sort of thought about that was the way to go for me. She's not religious, although she thinks she is, but she will never get into a discussion about it enough for me to explain to her and convince her as to what she actually is, which is effectively agnostic.
Yeah.
But she sent me there, I think, not because of the religion, because the religion was not part of it, really. I think she sent me there for the whole, if you go to a private school, you'll come out smarter kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which I would imagine is probably similar to what your folks were thinking.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't work.
I still love a lot of the things that I got from that school, although it was quite beneficial for me. Quite beneficial for me to then spend year 11 and year 12 at a public school. I went from private school calling your teachers sir, wearing a blazer and tie, to public school with girls where you called your teacher by their first name and you could wear whatever you want. Wow. So it was actually, I found it quite beneficial. So yeah. Anyway, back to comics.
Yep.
The reason I've brought this up on the screen is because I am very excited about Brian Wood's new project, Rebels.
It's very Civil War-ish.
It's going to be about the Civil War, but it's about the Civil War in the same vein
please don't tell me it's zombies.
of his Northlanders series, which was about Vikings, but it was all a collection of different stories based around Vikings.
Okay.
So this is going to be a whole heap of different stories based around events in the Civil War. I am very excited. Yeah.
Did I just see that the background of your picture is our logo on your
On the phone, yeah.
Nice.
I changed that over straight away.
Nice. Shall I talk while you're
Yes, you should.
fumbling with your phone? I still haven't read...
have you read any Brian Wood?
I don't know if I have. What has Brian Wood done besides Northlanders and
Northlanders,
DMZ?
Demo, but that's
Don't know that one.
effectively just a demo. Channel X, I think it's called, which is an awesome one from back in the day.
Which was a Wednesday, coincidentally.
Okay.
Yep.
He's done a run of X-Men.
Yep.
The more recent one with the all-girls X-Men. He did a run of Conan, which I'm looking forward to eventually getting to. And that's about it, I think. Come in. But yeah, he's awesome.
Okay. Yeah, look, I like the Civil War stuff. Oh, there's just too many comics that I want to read.
There's absolutely too many.
Yeah.
I actually saw just recently that what's it called? Some of the X-Men... not the X-Men, the Marvel stuff about how they're changing things up a bit. And I started going, you know what? I kind of like that concept. I wouldn't mind reading a bit more Marvel, but I haven't got time.
No.
Because I stupidly have grabbed a few comics from the Folks Place and am trying to reread some of those. Another Brian Wood one called The Massive, which I'm absolutely loving, or do love. I tried to start rereading the first trade paperback of that, and just you haven't got enough time, because I'm not a fast reader. So even comics, which there's a lot of pictures, I take a bit of time on. I just don't have the time to sit down and read all through on my iPad, the Batman and stuff that I'm doing. I'm reading a Trinity, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman at the moment. There's just so much to read. I'm so far behind on the New 52 as well. Like, that's just ridiculous. And then they're actually bringing out new 52s as well.
New 52s.
They haven't gotten to all 52 that they're bringing out. So there's too many comics. You can't read all of them. No. You just got to pick and choose when you can.
Yeah.
But I'll be probably trying to get to the actual comic book store to buy another trade of The Massive, which I assume to be out, plus some others when I can afford it, which I can't at the moment.
Fair enough.
But I highly recommend, if you like comics, to keep an eye out for Brian Wood's name and possibly Rebels, because that looks awesome. And I will always recommend DMZ and Northlanders. Those two comic series are phenomenal. And the DMZ TV show, when that eventually happens, which may be in years from now, but when it eventually happens, I will be talking about it somewhere.
Fantastic.
Just so you know, because
Fantastic.
I'm definitely going to be watching that. And I hope that I'm not going to be one of those people going, it was better in the comics, which I already am when it comes to something like Walking Dead. But yeah, at least I'm not like that with Game of Thrones. At least I can acknowledge that Game of Thrones book versus show are completely separate and should not be compared.
Well, I would go as far to say as the TV show should not be watched.
By the way, I think it's highly likely when Game of Thrones comes back that we're going to have to do a live watching.
Yep. Me live watching.
So what's going to happen, and this is based on my experience watching, I think it was the 8th episode of the last season, is if you like Game of Thrones, you should watch the episode. Then you should get it, and you should get our additional commentary and play it when you watch it the second time, which will actually be the first time for Dale.
Yes.
So I will have seen it before, you will have seen it before, Dale will not.
No.
And we will, I think, just an audio for that one.
Yep.
We'll put that out on the iTunes.
Yep.
Yeah. So speaking of iTunes, I checked out the iTunes when you told me during the week that people were having trouble finding it. Mm-hmm. If you do a search for D&G, actually, you know what?
Dolce & Gabbana.
Dolce & Gabbana. Sorry. Let's see if we can do something interesting here.
iTunes. Yeah, I've tried to find it in numerous ways, but I can't find it either.
Okay, so
oh wow, you're gonna do it like super instructive, instructional, instructive.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. One of those words.
One of those ones.
Okay. So, folks, this is the iTunes store.
I have to. What? Oh, yeah,
Orange is the New Black.
Did you hear about the thing?
What the thing?
Oh my gosh. I got home one night and I'd I'm not saying I'd had a bad day, because it was not a bad day at all, but there was a day when I'd heard some news that was really sad news. It wasn't like life-changing sad news, but it was sad-ish news. I got home, I went on Facebook, and the first thing I see is Orange is the New Black has been cancelled. And I immediately, I was shocked. I didn't know what to do, so the first thing I did was go in and spoke to Chris, saying, Orange is the New Black is cancelled. What's going on? She's like, oh my God, why? I read the reason. It was because the network and the creator had got into a bit of an argument over the fact that there's not enough male characters in the show. So they've decided to cancel the show. I was absolutely shocked by this, and I went back and I read the full article, and by the time I got to the bottom, I realised it was a troll.
Yep.
Yep.
Because I was about to say that's kind of ridiculous.
It is completely ridiculous, and I don't know how I got trolled so bad. Yes, back to iTunes. Sorry.
No, wait. Whilst we're talking about that,
yeah.
I just want to see your thoughts on. That's not what I meant to press. Where the fuck is it? A comedian who I find quite amusing recently posted. I'll say his name. Ricky Gervais. Posted an image of which I'm having trouble finding now, because it would have been funny good if I could have just shown you the image.
It's not that bathtub one, is it?
He posted a bathtub video recently of him with a silly voice doing singing Englishman in New York.
Yeah. Which
was actually kind of funny. If you find one of his what's it called? One of his social medias, and it'll be on there. I'm sure it's on Instagram and Twitter and stuff. He recently posted a picture, which hopefully I can find, which I don't think I'm going to be able to based on how hard it's becoming right now, of him in an orange jumpsuit.
Yes.
Standing in front of what looks incredibly like the exact same set as Orange is the New Black.
Oh.
So a lot of people said that's Orange is the New Black. What is this? What's the reference here? So that's just something very interesting. Well, it would have been much better if I'd been able to find the picture.
Yeah, I'm about to say, this is...
Cannot find the picture.
I think you made this up. I think this is one of your daydreams.
Don't give me that. Okay, now I've got to find it.
No,
you've challenged me now. You rude, insensitive bastard.
You got 3 minutes.
Why have I got 3 minutes? Is that just an arbitrary number that you've given me?
Yep.
Okay, 3 minutes then. Start the counter. Have you got the counter?
2 minutes and 30 seconds. Go. No, it's not worth it. Yeah, so Orange is the New Black has not been cancelled, which is really good news.
Of course not.
Because it is very, very successful, and there would be riots in the street. I did, however, hear that Community was meant to be cancelled, but they're bringing that back online. Like, I don't know if Netflix is doing it, but
it's been picked up by some other network or something. Hasn't it?
But they're going to do the entire season, which would bring them up to 6 seasons, which would mean they still just need to do the movie because they're
based on that little thing.
6 seasons and a movie.
Yeah, that's the interesting one. That show is one of those shows that's gone from, just like with Arrested Development, that they got picked up for another season by somebody who didn't do the original seasons, because the original season for some reason didn't think that it was, or the original network didn't think it was worth it, but then obviously due to the demand, it was worth it. So somebody else has said, well, we'll make money off that. And that's what sounds like the same thing with with that one. This is getting really annoying that I can't find this now.
Oh well.
We've gone way too far back. Is anyone else listening that's seen it? God damn it.
No, I don't think it's real. I think you're making this up. I think you're making it up.
I'm going to hurt you.
Yeah.
Which is a stupid comment because
oh well.
Yeah, it's very interesting the way shows are now, if they get any kind of notoriety, there'll be somebody out there that says we can make... There it is.
There it is. All right.
That says we can make money on posting or showing or making this show. Here's the money. It happened with Red Dwarf. They put Red Dwarf got picked up by a channel that wasn't the BBC.
Mm-hmm.
So that is Ricky Gervais in an orange jumpsuit. The thing that gets me, I find interesting, is that little shelf and the hooks and the window are very Orange is the New Black.
Well, it's very prison.
I know it's prison, and
Yeah.
it could be a different prison for sure.
Yeah.
But he's just randomly posted that with "what the fuck" as
Yeah,
his
yeah.
comment.
Yeah.
And so lots of people have, or at least one person in the comments have said
Orange is the New Black.
But
And
yeah.
someone has also put OITB. Orange is the black.
Orange is the black.
Yeah.
Black. Yeah. That's I find that very interesting.
Now,
It's one of those little teasers where you're just like, could it be
could
that
it
he
be?
somehow is on that show?
Could
But
it
then,
be?
of course, there's the whole, how is he on that show? It's a show about a women's prison. How
Yes.
could he be a prisoner on that show? So
maybe he's just a lesbian that's really let herself go.
But my other thought was that maybe it's a completely unrelated show.
Maybe it is. Maybe he was arrested.
Yeah, maybe it was just something completely unrelated. Maybe because the orange jumpsuits aren't trademarked to that show.
No, they're not.
They are what you wear in prison.
That's right.
So, yeah, who knows?
Now, before we finish up, because we're getting close to pumpkin time, do you...
Are we? I didn't know we had a pumpkin time. I know that
we usually go an hour and a half.
on average, we've gone between an hour and a half.
Yeah. Do you want to show people how to
I think
find
we
us
need,
on
to, we need to
iTunes?
just very quickly get onto iTunes. So what's you were about to start summing it up. If you want to start... Oh, I've done... How good am I? I've not swapped over the image.
Oh,
before
wow.
I've resized it. Literally, folks, the other day I did D&G. Search up in the top right. Comes up with lots of different options.
Oh, gosh.
Kylie and
We're not Kylie.
couture stuff, which, yeah, is not really us.
No?
Go down, so then you've got songs, then you've got albums, then you've got podcast episodes, which were not even in there.
We're the first one.
D&G fucking podcast, right there, folks. And when I searched it, the logo wasn't up. I am very pleased that the logo is now up.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's-
We've even warranted a parental advisory.
Oh well, that's because I've put explicit on all.
Oh,
When I've
okay.
loaded them all, I've said they're all explicit.
Yeah.
Because they are. And you can tell that I loaded 3 of them on one day,
Wow.
and then 2 of them on another day.
Wow.
That's when they were released.
Yeah.
So it's that simple. We are on iTunes, no question. Although I do find it interesting. Podcasts, education, Dale and Gavin.
Yep.
So yeah. We're on there, folks. Do a search. Please hit subscribe. Get all of them because...
That's what you need to do.
Actually, to be honest, on the Podomatic site, they are going to have to go down soon. As in, I'm going to have to take
That's
a
what she
bunch
said.
of them down. I'm going to have to take a bunch of them down because our plan only allows us a certain amount of space.
Yep.
And we can't have all of them up. But given that we only have a bunch of listeners, those listeners...
Now I can't find it when I search.
But what's that though?
We have the plump buffet.
Yeah, but what are you searching in? What is
D&G
that?
podcast. This is the Podcast Addict, which searches for.
Does it search iTunes? Does it?
Look,
Just because you've got other things there doesn't mean it's searching
search
iTunes.
engine. Look,
Is it searching iTunes?
use iTunes search engine. There we
Okay.
go.
D and G, capital D.
That
That's it.
doesn't matter. D&G podcast.
No, don't even put podcast. Why are you putting? You don't need to. I didn't put podcast in.
Nothing.
Comes up with Dan Carlin though. That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
that's pretty good. Pretty good. Nothing.
Okay, now go back to search without podcast. Just try it. See what happens.
Okay.
Just see what
D
happens. Live dangerously,
and
mate. Live
G.
dangerously. Anyway, what I was saying was that they're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to take
Exactly
them down.
the same thing.
Okay, well, that's why you don't have an Android phone.
Yeah.
Podcasts were made by Apple, so do it.
Yep.
And they are mass produced.
So will we stay on Apple for this?
What do you mean?
Will we stay on iTunes if you got to delete them?
I don't know.
Okay.
I honestly don't know.
Let's
But
see.
I was going to talk to you about possibly then putting them up, the old episodes up for sale.
Okay.
It is a model that I know Dan Carlin uses, whereby he posts everything for free, but older episodes get put up for a small cost.
Yep.
I was thinking something like $1 for 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Something like that.
We're going to get to 10 episodes first.
Well, yeah, but I was thinking when we get to 10, we can take them all down and then sort of start again. That way, people who really want to can give us some money and actually donate. I also thought that for every 10 that they buy, we'd do a special podcast that wasn't released normally.
Fair enough. Yep.
To make it worth their while, that kind of stuff. You know how Greatest Hits have got one new track on them, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Looking back at the original first episode is pretty embarrassing, though.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we're only up to episode 7, but the first one involves, I think, the first 5 minutes of me trying to work out what's going on. So yeah, that is excellent. Thank you, Brian. Brian's already gone to D&G Podcast on iTunes and subscribed. Thank you. The audio versions will get better. So far, I think, especially D&G1 has got a lot of bits missing. D&G2 still isn't even up there because who's lazy? I'm lazy, and I've been focusing much more on doing logos than I have been on actually editing D&G2 and putting it all together so that it can actually get put out there. So yeah, that'll be one of the special. Were you watching D&G2 when it happened live? That doesn't work yet.
Okay. What happens if I press it?
Nothing.
Okay.
Dale's trying to click on the website link because I haven't linked it over to the website yet. Because as I said, I've got issues with the IP pretty much. Well, not the IP. No, not the IP. It'll be the website provider. Because I get paid fortnightly and don't have much money, and I assume what they're doing is cutting me off because I am behind by a week.
Fair enough.
But it'll be there soon, and it'll be there in a slightly... Don't put a review in.
I'm just looking. What are we related to? Oh, wow. We're related to...
French for Beginners.
Oui.
See, now that's interesting, because 2 of those podcasts I recently downloaded to try and start possibly learning a little bit of basic French.
There you go.
I was going to say something, but I lost it.
It'll come.
Lost it completely. No. Oh well. What a way to end. That's right. I was going to say that our website is going to be slightly interesting because it's going to be mylastname.com/DNG.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
But that's because I'm paying for a website. I'm going to fucking well use it.
Good.
And it looks cool. Should I show them?
Oh, if you want.
If I can get to it nice and quickly to end the show, I'll show everyone what our website currently looks like. I think every single podcast says... there it is. Every single podcast says this to the listeners, but it is absolutely true for one like us trying to get off the ground. Review us and comment on us on iTunes. Watch us on YouTube. Click on the ads. Even if you put it on iTunes, on YouTube, and then hit mute and then go do something else, that's fine too.
Yep.
Because it's all about numbers and getting the numbers up.
It's a numbers game, people.
So we're trying to get the numbers up. It's like earning points in martial arts. Just get some points. Because it's all about points. It's not about actually quality or getting it done. It's about points. This is taking ages.
This is taking a really long time.
For it to come up. I apologise. We'll see if any of this works. I don't know. Oh well. I don't know. Definitely still the best way to keep in touch is to go to the Facebook and do a search for us there. Look for Dale Kent or Gavin Maybury Long, and then like us and add us and we'll add through. Although I don't know what I'm talking about. All of our people that are watching know of it through that.
That's right.
So yeah. That's not working.
What about Brian?
Brian knows us through Facebook.
Oh.
I've got him on Facebook.
There you go.
That's how we found out about this.
Good on him.
I'm assuming. Brian, very quickly, how did you find out about the show? I'm assuming it's because I either posted something on Facebook about it or I invited him to like the page, because we did that when we first set up the Facebook page.
This is not working.
That's not working at all. I don't know what's going on there. So
we'll bring it back next week, I think.
Yeah, we'll give it a shot to try and show it next week. I'm hoping it'll all be sorted next week and we can tell people to go there. Yep, Brian said Facebook.
Cool.
The really cool one will be when we can afford to jump up a bit on live stream, and we can live stream it straight through to the website.
Yes.
And we can put little chat bits there and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you now, the live stream embedded widget or whatever you want to call it looks cool.
Cool.
And it's got the chat next to it. And it's awesome. That's when we'll have better lighting. We'll have the D&G logo behind us. We'll have a proper table to drink for our drinks. It'll be great.
Yes.
That's in the future. That's if everyone keeps listening. That's enough of an outro spiel. I don't think we need to go any further.
No.
Thank you very much. Same bat time, same bat channel. See you next week.
Nice.